let's introduce our guest investor, star of our show, Ken Meleen. Why don't you tell us, how many properties do you have? What does your real estate portfolio look like these days, Ken?
We have a total of 6 properties. We picked up 2 in September of 2019, picked up a third one in January of 2020, and 2 more in February of 2020. And the last one we got in October of 2020. We were going gangbusters in February of 2020. We thought, this is such a good program, let's get up to 5. And then all of a sudden, COVID hit. And we had a lot of worries on our plates. And I remember a program where Gregg was there, and he says, as long as we keep the cash flow going, we're not worried about housing prices or that sort of thing declining. So that's where we're at, 6 homes. I don't know if I want to say this now, maybe, well, since it's on the tip of my tongue, I will. We are contemplating adding to our portfolio. And the way we are going to do that, we have 4 homes that are owned totally. We have 2 homes that we purchased with the help of the bank with mortgages. But we first set out on this journey, we told Mike Stewart, we need a couple $1,000s more in cash flow. Well, what we're getting now is an average cash flow of over $6,000 a month from these 6 homes. So we thought, well, we can back off a little bit. We can take one of those homes and take out a cash out mortgage on it. And we're in the process of doing that. We have a conditional offer from the bank, and we expect to have that close. I think March 9th is the date that we'll close that loan. And then we'll be ready to march on and buy a couple more homes this year.
What a beautiful thing, Ken. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, to your entire family, for the trust that you guys have put in us.
We got it on the screen. It's showing your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties. And you did some math here on the bottom. You want to kind of talk us through some of the math that you did and the way that you're looking at this stuff?
Well, I was interested in some of the totals here. So on the left-hand side of the page, I totaled up the purchase prices of the 6 homes that we had, and that came to $1,067,000. And I subtracted from that the amount of loans that the bank had contributed to our purchases to get our net investment cost tad over $796,000. But then I was interested in, where do we stand today? So I went on January 30th, I went to Zillow, and I looked at each one of these properties, and I recorded the value according to Zillow. And that's in the right-hand column there. You'll see the Cocoa Avenue went from the purchase price of $170 up to $235, and on down the list, $205, $267, $295, $246, a total Zillow value of tad over $1.5 million. Now I subtracted from that what remains for us to pay to the bank, the amount of the mortgages that we still owe, $255,000 roughly, coming out with a total net value for us of $1.249 million. The gain in value over 28 months based upon those numbers was over $480,000. And if I take the gain and divide it by the amount of money that we had invested in this, the 453,000 plus divided by 796, I come up in a period of 2.5 years with a gain of almost 57%. Now that is keeping in mind the fact that 2020 and 2021 were extraordinary years. They were above average for appreciation in Jacksonville. And it's not going to happen that way all the time, but it's going to continue. I believe it's going to continue gradually marching upward and upward and upward.
This first slide are those 6 properties that Ken showed us on his breakdown there. Just seeing again the purchase prices, you're largely seeing 170, 155, upwards of about 200,000 for his purchase prices. And you're seeing his purchase dates, which were largely about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And you see the 4 that are purchased in cash, 2 that are in financing as his original purchases.
There you go.
We've talked a lot about appreciation, and I'm so excited that Ken gets appreciation because most investors don't. But I don't want to not shine a light on positive cash flow, because where investors can get in trouble is all they factor is appreciation. If you go back to 2006, this is how investors got hurt, right? And they didn't factor in positive cash flow. Now, of course, Ken does that because he invests with JWB. We only offer positive cash flow properties. And these key performance indicators that you're seeing here are showing that. So what you see here in the top left, 6.85% return on investment. Now, Ken was showing 56%. Why am I showing 6.85? Well, what I'm showing here is average annualized returns just from the cash flows, not including home price appreciation. So I'm going to match those two numbers towards the end of what I share with you here. But this is just the cash flow. This is just those cash flows and that positive cash flow coming to him. So once he has that positive cash flow coming in, then Ken looks for home price appreciation. And that's what I would recommend for all of you. Been investing for about 2.5 years, $83,321 of net rental income coming to his bank account from his 6 properties. That's how he's paying his property taxes in California. That's how he's paying the life insurance bills. That's how he's doing that. And that's what's giving him confidence, of course, to invest more. A total lifetime return of $110,538. That includes the net rental income plus tax savings plus principal pay down. Still does not include home price appreciation. So over 110 grand that we've been able to deliver for Ken and his family. Ken, this is always a really fun slide because, rents have gone up so much over the last 2.5 years, and many people forget what their original expected rent was on their evaluation. Now, I should point out that JWB is extremely conservative when it comes to expected rents. And when you factor that in addition to rents rising at an above average rate the last 2 years, you've been able to generate a lot more gross rental income than you expected. And I'm not sure if you knew this, but according to your original property evaluations for your total portfolio, we were expecting to earn about $8,050 a month in expected rent. When I looked just yesterday for your actual rent on your rental properties, we're actually collecting $8,605 of gross rents for you, which comes out to additional cash flow of about $555 a month, or just about $6,660 a year of additional cash flow to take a chunk out of that property bill. How cool is that?
That's cool.
I always show the highest lifetime return on investment and the lowest lifetime return on investment. I want you guys to see I'm not just picking the winners here. You can see Ken's highest returns are at 12.05%, again, not including home price appreciation, whereas his expected returns were 10.12%, and his lowest returns are 8.73%, and his expected was just about 10.5% for that one. So not a huge range and a huge variation, but you're not all going to be exactly right at expectations. There's going to be some that are higher and some that are lower.
There you go. And then portfolio review.
All right, here's the big reveal, Ken. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So from 2019 until current, for your 5 profit centers, this is how you have been earning, my friend. We talked about net rental income of $83,321 in your bank account, tax savings of $19,813 of taxes you haven't had to pay because of the write-offs available to rental properties. Total principal pay down of $7,404. Now, keep in mind, 4 of Ken's properties don't have loans on them, so there's no principal to pay down there. This is only 2 properties that he's owned for 2.5 years, and the resident has paid his mortgage down for him, and it's totaled over $7,400. Right? If you're an investor and you're not counting principal pay down into your total returns, you are operating blindly. You are missing out on a big profit center, $7,404 there. And that's all leading up to the biggest profit center, which is home price appreciation. And home price appreciation is the biggest profit center right now, partly because of the incredible amounts of home price appreciation we've received over the last 2.5 years in Jacksonville. But even if we didn't, even if all we received was 4.6% appreciation year over year in Jacksonville, it would still show that this is the largest component of Ken's return on investment. That's why we need to consider home price appreciation as long as you're investing for a full market cycle. So this number is the number that we can sort of correlate to what Ken was showing there. I believe his number was somewhere around 425,000 according to Zillow. There's a couple of things that are a little bit different there, but we can see we're kind of in the ballpark here, 385. And, I've of course taken out selling, holding, and closing costs. And I've done the same for Ken's number as well to kind of get it comparing apples to apples. So Zillow's a little bit off, but, in the ballpark, right? And an incredible value for you and for your family there, Ken. Super excited. Almost $400,000 of home price appreciation in 2.5 years. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank
JWB.
So all in all, a huge win to have Ken here on the show. Thank you again for you being here, sharing your story. This has just been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Gregg. Thank you, Gregg and Bevel. I just want to say thanks to the 4 partners who saw the vision, stretched themselves, and started JWB back in 2006. They could have held their cards close to their vest and gradually accumulated more properties only for themselves. But they wanted to expand and share their vision for homeownership with others and prepared a business plan to do just that. With timely evaluations and by keeping records of various facets of this business, they have refined their plan, brought in quality employees, and opened their vision so anyone in the world can participate. They are truly Jacksonville's Men of the Year.
Wow.
So,
wow, Ken. I don't know what to say. I had no idea that that you were gonna write that. I'm just gonna let that marinate for a little bit. Thank you.
well,
Thank you
I've
very
dwelled
much.
on that for the past week or so, and I just felt something needed to be said about what you guys have given to our community. Thank you.
I have chills. It's 80 degrees here in Jacksonville right now, and I have chills. I really, really appreciate you.